Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a fantastically awesome day. So far my day is going alright. The weather's pretty decent, so that's a plus. It's Friday, that's another huge plus. And we've got some plans this weekend, so that's a third and final plus, I suppose. Garen's got some hockey games on Saturday and Sunday, so I'll be driving to go and check him out. And then we're going for a family lunch tomorrow, which is Saturday, because it's my mother-in-law's birthday today. Happy birthday, Bubby. And then on Sunday, I've got to clean out the whole basement. It's a freaking nightmare down there, and I've got to make sure it's clean before the winter hits and it gets too cold to be doing anything like that. Let me know what your plans are. What have you guys got planned this weekend? Doing anything cool? Seeing anything cool? Going to meet family? What you're up to? Let me know down in the comments. Any hoops, today we are reacting to non-Americans. What surprised you about America? This is another Reddit video. I love these videos. I get really down a rabbit hole with them sometimes. I'll just sit and watch them for ages. So I thought, why not watch one with you guys before we react to the next video. So we're going to be checking that out. But before we do, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're feeling extra frisky, you may as well give the video a like as well. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee page and a Patreon page linked down in the description if you want to help support the channel. But please feel no obligation to do so. And without further ado, let's check out what non-Americans find surprising about America.
Non-Americans. What is the most shocking thing you saw when visiting the United States? Woke up early on vacation in Florida and the sidewalk outside my hotel was absolutely covered in lizards and it was amazing.
Iguanas possibly?
Today I was in a shopping center and there was a woman pushing a pushchair around, however it wasn't a baby in there but two dogs.
This frustrates me. I hate that. We went to the pet shop yesterday, actually, because we dropped Garen off at hockey practice, Leia and I, and we didn't have anything to do. So I was like, let's just go take a walk around the pet shop. And they had those rucksacks for cats with like the window on it. And Leia's like, oh, I'd love to get one of those for Puss Puss. Her cat's name's Puss Puss. Yes, very original. And I was like, no. He would go nuts in there. He would go absolutely berserk. And two, why? Just why? I really don't get it. Oh, come on.
That's more common than I'd like to
Yeah,
admit.
I've seen it a few times.
Rite Aid. I can get a flu shot, HIV test, a bottle of tequila, Snickers bars and pizza pockets all from the same store. Awesome. IHOP. I can get an entire day's worth of calories in one meal. Also having $1 notes made me feel like I was rich.
Yeah,
I had a huge wad of notes. But like 20 of them were $1, but still, it's a nice feeling.
I'd love that. We've only got the €1 coins.
When I moved to the US, cars outnumber motorcycles, so it was like going to the future. The less shocking was seeing white and black people because I have never seen other races before. I was surprised that I couldn't buy over-the-counter cough syrup without it. Went to a Walmart in Maine that was so...
You can't buy cough syrup without ID. Here is... actually not here. In England, like in the Sainsbury's or Tesco's, there's like a huge aisle where you can go get like ibuprofen, paracetamol and stuff like that. Here in Slovakia, you got to go to the chemist, pharmacy and get it there as well. But you don't need ID. I mean, I suppose I wouldn't need ID. I don't look young, do I?
Huge, the ceiling met the floor at a horizon. Also they sold liquor there on the cheap. Peruvian here. The first thing my mother and I said was, wow, everything is so quiet. I'm from Singapore and we're pretty much a conservative and reserved society. I visited the US for an elective program at UCLA. Go Bruins. And the thing that struck me most about America was everyone's friendliness or socialness. People just strike up conversations with you, ask how your day's been, and really connect with each other based on whatever's happening around them. The weather, how long the wait for the bus is, etc.
I miss stuff like that. Like in the UK that didn't happen, but here in Slovakia, because of the language barrier, I'm really struggling. Slovak's a really hard language to learn. At least in the UK, like I was a regular at a normal, like one of a local little shop or something. I'd have a chat with them and you know, it just breaks up the day. It's nice to talk to someone. Here, I'm pretty much alone. I don't talk to many people. I talk to my missus and my kids and that's about it really. So that sort of stuff I really, really miss. Like just having a conversation with someone. Like a stranger.
And somehow these fleeting connections were very real and genuine to me. I came back home a much more enlightened person with my horizons very much broadened. So, thank you Americans, for showing me simple human kindness. I was told I speak very good English. I'm English. French living in California. American are super friendly and will engage a discussion whenever they can. Oh, and Americans speak very loud too. I was walking to Target the other day and this woman was shouting at me asking for directions. She wasn't panicked or angry or anything. She was just shouting. Whole camps of homeless people living under highway overpasses in New Orleans. In New Orleans, those people are referred to as the middle class.
Oh man.
Clean air, clean tap water, people even drink it. WTF. I came here from Russia. People wishing me a good morning and saying hello when I didn't even know them. Always had a misconception that Americans were mean and rude.
We did a video on misconceptions the other day, and that is a big one, isn't it? That the Americans are quite rude in that. But I've only, I've never been there, but from my experience here on this YouTube channel with the emails and the comments I get, you guys are so freaking kind and awesome. I get so many awesome emails. It's amazing. So that did surprise me a bit, but like I didn't have that misconception. I didn't really, but it is a big one, isn't it? I think do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know. I'm
Wouldn't
lost.
say it would be shocking, but just a tad startling. Basically flags. Flags everywhere. On the pavements, in the windows, on the side of buildings, up poles, on cars, on doors, on posters. Pretty much anything it could be stuck to. Oh, and the real comfy feeling of diners. Genuinely felt welcome in any I went for a cup of tea in. Always got a raised eyebrow and a question when I asked for hot tea instead of iced tea. That seems like such a strange idea, to go into a diner just for a cup of tea. I'm from Australia and I couldn't believe how high the water levels are in your toilet. My balls nearly touch the water. Haha. Also your drive-through ATMs. Crazy.
Drive-through ATM.
When I went there, I suddenly realized why their toilets overflow when they get clogged. In Australia, the water in the flush isn't enough to overflow the bowl. How freaking big
know
the
that about
cars
the
are.
toilet.
I'm Italian. If you like those prices, you should go to Costco. 4.5 gallons of ketchup, $1.30.
Oh my god.
So much types of fast food. Canadian
Yeah.
as well. I'm used to like max 4 choices, but in the States there's like 15, and there's a definite hierarchy of quality. I'm American, but I live in Hawaii and visited Virginia, which was more than just a time change. I have never in my life seen so many restaurants. They are everywhere. It felt like every second business was a restaurant, and there weren't any hills where I was, so directions were given thus. Take a left at the Golden Corral, then right at the Cracker Barrel. If you get to the Olive Garden, you've gone too far. The US is
Easy
huge
one.
and even states adjacent to each other can be very, very different from each other. The experience is a person who visits San Diego, California compared to rural West Virginia or Houston, Texas or Wyoming is very different. If you think McDonald's is cheap, you should go to Speedway. You can buy like
Speedway?
3 hot dogs and not even spend $1. These
What?
hot dogs will probably kill you if you eat too many of them, but still, they're cheap.
Yeah.
Sam's
hot
Club.
dogs?
Hot dog for 99 cents. 30 ounces drink 89 cents.
Flipping
Combo
heck.
$1.70. It's like a huge ass hot dog too. Coming in from China, it was amazing how
Yeah, but what are those hot dogs made out of? That would worry me a bit.
not
Damn.
crowded the public transportation was. Well, after I got over the lack of public transportation. Sure, rush hour was busy, but I didn't have to wait for 3 trains to pass to rudely push my way into the subway. Also, no one stole my stuff. Drive through banks. My cousin from Vietnam flew into America sometime in December and she recalled that her first reaction was, wow, there's so much sugar covering the ground it was snow, but she really thought we sprinkled sugar everywhere for shoots and giggles. Why she's never heard of snow, I don't know, but it was adorably hilarious. Yep, we frosted the north just for her. This is probably the most interesting.
That's why I love these videos. Sometimes it's the replies more than the actual, like the sarcastic replies. Yep, we frosted the north
Yeah,
just for
we
her.
frosted the north just for her. This is probably the most interesting thing I've read in a while. I love to hear people's views on our country. I just came back from 3 weeks USA, and I remember being shocked by the huge amount of diabetes products in your average Walgreens. Glucose meters everywhere. Here in Holland people don't just get diabetes, and if they do, it's mostly type 1. And then I tasted Butterfingers. Frick, then I understood. As an Australian who just came back from America this year, what the frick man, you guys have pretzel M&Ms. Share that crap around, frick. Give US Tim Tams. Brit with a short list after visiting Florida. 1. Felt very weird not recycling empties. 2. Baffled by savory food getting a sweet accompaniment. Pancake batter, corn dogs, pizza and cookies etc. 3. The cars being so big, driving a Crown Vic felt like being a bus driver. 4. Everyone being so friendly. Took me 2 days to figure out how to react to random.
That's something I'm worried about, is I don't know how I'm going to react to the random conversations or random, because I was saying to Kat the other day, I had a conversation with someone and I felt really out of place. Oh, the courier, one of the couriers who came speaks English. So I was having a chat with him and I was like, I don't really know how to have a conversation anymore, being here like 3 years and not speaking to different people every day. It's quite difficult. So I don't know, I might be a bit awkward for a few days.
Conversations with strangers. Awesome trip. I never expected a culture shock. I lived in China until 1999, grade 5 in elementary school. Then our family moved to Dallas, Texas. Within the next year, the following things were very surprising to me. 1. Everything is ridiculously big, from the size of our apartments to people's houses to the size of roads to the length of time it takes to get downtown. We lived in North Dallas, near Arapahoe and Hillcrest.
Hey, we got
2.
a Hillcrest in South
School
Africa.
Classrooms resembled something like a wonderland. There were bright colors everywhere. Tables are put together into clumps instead of ordered in neat rows from back to front. Then there were stuffed paper mache animals on the walls with people's names on it, cute little mailboxes for everyone, TVs and computers in every classroom, a cafeteria filled with tasty foods and snacks, and playgrounds with swings. 3. We were learning 405 equals 2000 in math class. 4. The nice people at church actually took their religion seriously, like, actually believed it to be real. I always thought religions were stories you learn because they were important cultural stories that had some education value, like the story of Prometheus giving fire to humans. For example, I used to teach English in China. I can see why you were so impressed about the state of American classrooms considering what the average Chinese classroom looks like. Your students are amazing to teach, though.
I'm going to Google that afterwards, like what are the differences, because I didn't know there would be such a huge difference. That's something that got me here as well, because once a year I go to Layers and Garen's old school here just in the village, and I help them with English. I do an English week where the kids can just talk to me in English, and that shocked me as well, because they got their tables in like rounds, whereas when I was at school they were in rows, and you if you were lucky you sat next to somebody. Sometimes it would be like a double seated row or just a single seater. But everything I've seen in the movies has all been rows. See, don't believe everything you see in the movies.
Even the naughty kids were a welcome break from the average British pupil.
Yeah, British pupils.
How hard it is to get a drink. I'm Irish and over 21 and in California. Even with a passport and driver's license I was treated with skepticism. Blood started to enter my alcohol stream a few times while I was there. Shudder. Brazilian here. Everything is so freaking cheap. From food to soda to cars and computers.
Yeah.
Everything is a tenth of the freaking international price. There were a few things, both awesome and scary, which shocked. The obvious ones are food related, obesity related, which have been said to death here and in other threads. For me, in a road trip across America, it was the sheer size of cities, towns etc. along highways. Coming from Australia, the sheer number of people and large cities was astounding. NB, I haven't been to China or India, and while I have traveled elsewhere, nothing compared to USA for me with regards to this. Children on a leash.
People
never seen that in
Children
Europe.
on a leash.
Confederate. Children on a leash. Never seen that in Europe.
Don't do that.
Confederate flags on trucks in Vermont. Yeah, that has become a redneck thing. It's weird. I have even seen black men rocking Confederate flags. Tax. Why not put a fricking price sticker that includes it so I don't have work out if I have enough money for everything? You have to fricking drive everywhere. Canadian here. I first went to the US in the 90s when I was in my early teens. I had assumed that people would be rude and, worst case scenario, shoot me. I was shocked when people were friendlier than they were back home. So where y'all from followed by a big grin was the most common occurrence. It was awesome.
Oh, I can't wait,
The
man.
water pressure in American showers is so freaking high. You could seriously kill people with those showers. Whoa, that is cheap. Macca's meals here in New Zealand cost at least $8 and are upwards of $10 for a Hunger Buster or
What?
anything bigger.
That's even cheap. Here in Slovakia, McDonald's, I haven't had a McDonald's, I don't think, since we've been here, but we went and got the kids one a couple times. And it's like 15 plus euros for a meal. So that's a lot of money. So I don't know how much the McDonald's is over there.
A huge thing advertising HempCon with a big cannabis leaf. In Mexico we're killing each other in a stupid drug war, and in the US is so casual that they have conventions. It really shocked me. I was on the West Coast for about 2 months a couple of years ago. I'm from the Netherlands. Things that struck me. 1. Portion sizes. Your small pizza is our large pizza. Your medium pizza is our family pizza. Your large pizza doesn't fit inside our borders. 2. Clean streets. I saw a lot of $1,000 littering fine signs. Must have worked, because there wasn't so much as a cigarette butt on the streets. 3. Space. You have.
That frustrates me. I'm an ex-smoker, and now I don't think I was one of those people who just flick a cigarette butt or stamp it out on the floor. I don't remember doing that. I might have if I was out in the pub or something, because you have to smoke outside. But I freaking hate cigarette butts everywhere. It really does my head in.
Have a lot of it. Everything is bigger, taller, larger, wider and further apart. 4. Food is cheaper than in Europe. Alcohol is more expensive.
I could live with that.
5. I figured out why you don't see a lot of American cars outside of America. I'll stop here before I insult people. 6. No aggressiveness at sport matches. I visited a Giants game in SF and couldn't believe my eyes when a Giants and Cardinals fan were sharing a couple of beers and eating hot dogs together while cheering for the foreign teams.
Well, that's awesome. What's wrong with
Europe,
that?
we have to separate soccer fans from the moment they arrive in the game city until the second they leave, to stop them from bashing each other's brains, heads in. Also, the entertainment value with all the songs and games is much higher than in European sports matches. It's just football fans who can't be trusted in Europe. Rugby fans are allowed to sit next to each other and drink alcohol,
I was just gonna say, rugby fans are awesome as well. Like, you can, even if we lose a game, like as a South African fan, I remember when we played England and we beat England in the World Cup. I don't want to say when. I don't want to talk too much on that because some of my mates watch this. But yeah, it was awesome because I was with my English mates, and after the game, you're all hugging. Well done, mate. Awesome game. Oh, do you think that was it? There was never any violence. Whereas if football, holy crap! And I'm talking about soccer here. Those guys are assholes, man.
You see, there were not posters of Castro everywhere. Ped zing. Ped means duck in Thai. Zing means virgin racing depending on the accent. Those signs are warnings so you don't get caught up in a duck race.
What the hell is that?
That's some dangerous crap. I was in the M&M superstore in Times Square and saw a woman so fat, just so fat she used a scooter. Sigh. That's unfortunately not exceptionally unusual.
That's here as well and everywhere. I've seen that, man. It's not just like that. The video we watched the one we did the other day with the misconceptions, that like one of the misconceptions that was on that video was that everyone was fat, and they were surprised how many people in America were actually pretty fit and toned. So yeah, I don't think that's common as
when I came to the States from Bangladesh, I was shocked how rich people are so skinny and poor people are so fat. In my country it was the opposite. Waffles from New Zealand, and I've only ever seen them in America.
What? Right, well, yeah. What surprised you about visiting another country? Have you visited another country and you've been surprised with something? Mine was here in Slovakia as well. When I first visited here, I thought people were good. Oh, sorry, when we used to visit here a lot, and it was different because you're here for a week or two. Everything's great for a week or two. But when you move somewhere, I was expecting there to be a lot more resistance to the fact that I was foreign, and it wasn't. I was welcomed with open arms, and it was freaking awesome. So yeah, that was something that like surprised me about moving here. Also, another thing that surprised me about moving here is how much bread people eat. Like, I like bread, but I don't want to eat it with every meal, and that's a thing here. Like, it's just bread. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Don't forget to hug a loved one, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.